What's up, guys? Justin here with the SketchUpEssentials.com, back with another SketchUp and Animator tutorial for you. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to create an exploded view animation of your geometry inside of your SketchUp models. If you're looking for more great SketchUp extensions, make sure to check out my guide to SketchUp extensions at the SketchUpEssentials.com/extensions. Now let's go ahead and just jump into it. Alright, so I will link to this extension in the notes down below, but we're going to use the extension Animator. We're going to animate kind of an exploded view of this 3D warehouse model. And you can download this model from the 3D warehouse. It's the V8 small block Chevy model by Pixel Monkey 3. So you can just search for that and find that on the 3D warehouse. And the first thing you're going to see when we open this up is it's got some things in here that are helpful if you're looking for engine information, but maybe not so helpful for what we're trying to do. So we're going to start by going in here and we're just going to use the erase tool in order to erase out all of this extra note stuff, just because we don't really need it at this point. And so I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to erase all of this stuff out. And so the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to place this a lot closer to the model origin so that our bounding box is smaller. So you can see how now this box goes more around this based on our box more kind of fits the boundary of this item. Otherwise, it's going to kind of throw off the way that this explodes and or the way that this view explodes when we use this in Animator. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to save our model. So I'm just going to do a file, save as, and save this, because otherwise you'll get this message that Animator doesn't operate on new model files. Okay, and so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up Animator. And to do that, you're going to open Animator, and I will link to that extension in the notes below, and then we're going to click on the button for Clip Editor. And what Clip Editor is going to do is it's going to pop up all of these tools in here that we use to create our animation. And so the first thing we want to do is we want to go in and we want to add a movement. So to add a movement, we're going to click on this little blue box right here. We're going to click on New Movement. And then from there, it's going to ask us to select our object that we want to animate. So in this case, I'm going to click on this. And this is going to give me a whole bunch of groups, because you can see how this is a bunch of nested stuff in here. It's groups inside of groups inside of groups. And there's a couple different ways you could do this. The first is you could select this overall group, but then we'd have to go in and explode all of this stuff a little bit later. Or you could find the highest level group or the lowest level group that's in here that isn't the individual parts and pieces as well. So, and I'll show you what I mean. So right now, this is a group inside of a group inside of a group, and you can see I have to mouse down to like this level 1 before I get the individual elements here. So right now, if I click on this, and then I click on the button for explosion, you can see how when I move the slider in here, it doesn't actually do anything. And the reason for that is because it's trying to animate this to like a level down, so one level inside of this group. Well, the problem with that is inside of this group, there's multiple different groups. So like, for example, if I cancel all of this, and I'm not going to save any of it, and I'm just going to close out of Animator for just a second. If I was to double click in here, you can see how when I double click again, there's another group inside of this. And then if I double click in there, there's another group inside of that. And I have to double click in that before I start getting to these individual model elements. And so that kind of confuses Animator, because when you're like at the top level, it's like, well, there's nothing to explode. There's just a single group inside of this. And so probably the easiest way to do this is when we insert our movement sequence and we click on this. Just go find the level that's right above the one where you start getting individual pieces animated. So if I click on this level 1 group, and then I click on the button for explosion, you can see how now this actually knows to look inside of that group and find the individual objects in order to explode. And so you can see how when I do this, when I drag this slider, this explosion factor allows me to set how far out everything is going to explode. So in this case, if I set this to 3, then everything's going to move further away than if I was to set it to 2. It's pretty self-explanatory in that sense. And what it's doing is it's exploding this based on the center of this object. You can see how this gives you kind of an axis in here. That's showing you the point from which which it's exploding everything. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set this explosion factor to 3. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to set the duration of this sequence to something like 4 seconds instead of 2. And so if you want to preview that, you can click the play button and you can see how that's going to give you kind of a preview of that animation. And you can see how it's 4 seconds long, and you can preview it by dragging this little slider right here. So we're going to go ahead and click the check mark right there. And so now what we've done is we've added a sequence over here that's basically the exploded view of this object. And so what I want to do is I also want to add a camera sequence where we fly around this. So we've got this exploding and it's 4 seconds long. Well, in this case, I want to go in and I want to go at 0 and I want to insert a camera. So I'm going to click on New Camera right here. And so for this one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on Capture Current View Camera. What that means is it's just going to capture the current view that we have in here. So now if I click on this and save, nothing's really going to have changed because we just told it to keep the camera we already had in there. Well, now what I want to do is I want to add another camera over here. So I'm going to click on New Camera. And I'm going to rotate around maybe to right here, and I'm going to click on Capture Current View Camera again and click the checkbox. Well, now you can see how this is transitioning between my two camera views as we fly around in here. So after 1 second, it's moved our camera from this point to this point. And so I want to do that a couple more times. I want to do one at 2, one at 3, and one at 4. So I'm going to add those really quick. You can see I'm not really changing anything especially. I'm just rotating around and adding my different camera views. And so at 3 seconds, I want to have another camera view. And then at 4 seconds, we're going to add our last camera view. And we're going to click the green checkbox. So now, if we animate this sequence, our camera flies all the way around this as this kind of explodes. And so, one thing I don't like about that is I feel like those camera transitions are really fast. And so what I want to do anyway is I want to go ahead and copy this sequence so I also have a view of all the parts coming back together. So what I want to do is I want to take this animation sequence, this one right here, where this explodes, and I want to right click on it and I want to click copy. And then down below that, I want to right click and I want to click the button for paste. And so what I've done is I've pasted this animation view, or this explosion animation, again in here. But you can see how what this is doing right now is for my second 4 seconds, you can see how everything is exploding further apart. And so we don't want that because we want everything to come back together. So we're just going to click on this scene, and there's a button in here for reverse the sequence. Well, when you click on the button for reverse the sequence, what that's going to do is this is going to take that explosion factor and it's going to set it, instead of animating it forward, it's going to animate it backward. So you can see how all these parts are coming back together. And so the other thing I want to do is I want to take these camera views and I want to move them so that they're a little further apart in my timeline. So you can see how I'm able to just kind of click and drag these along different points in our timeline. You can see how now we get a much slower transition between those different parts and pieces than we did before. So you can use this to set kind of a 360-degree camera view, just kind of flying this around. And you can see how you can kind of fine adjust this just by clicking and dragging where these are in your timeline. But once you have a view that you kind of like, this one, once you're done, you can go ahead and you can save this. So we're going to go ahead and click the Save button. That's going to save all of the changes that you've made as a part of your model. Then we're going to export this to a video. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on this button for Generate a Video. And that's going to allow us to export this to a video type. And depending on if you have the FFmpeg plugin or not, that's going to that's going to be what defines whether or not you have video types in here that you can export to, or if it's just going to give you the option for images sequence. If it gives you the option for images sequence, you need to download what's called FFmpeg. It's a plugin. There should be a link in here with instructions on how to download this and install it. For me, I've already done that, so I don't need to worry about that. But what I want to do is I want to deselect MOV, and I just want to export this to an MP4. And in this case, we're going to call this something like engine exploded view. And you can adjust other things in here as well. Like if I wanted this to be slower, I could adjust the speed factor. You can adjust the number of frames in here. But you can see how this shows you how many frames this is going to generate. And so if I was to click on the 0.5, meaning if I was to slow this down, this would generate 401 frames instead of 201 frames. So you'd get double the frames. So if you were to try to slow this down to 0.5, by clicking on that, you'd have to generate more frames, and this would take more time. Everything else, I think I'm good with the rest of these dimensions. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on the button for generate video. So when I click on the button for generate video, that's going to go through and that's going to take a bunch of clips in here, and it's going to export them and stitch them together. So we're going to go ahead and let this do this, and then we'll come back and take a look at what we've been able to generate. Alright, so you can see how now this is completed, and this gives you an option to click on the button for play, and you can play the animation that you've created. So I will drag this over from my other monitor, and you can see how this has basically generated this exploded view animation inside of SketchUp with your 360 degrees flying around this. And so from here you could really build on this however you wanted to. You could add styles, you could adjust, I've exported these to rendering programs like V-Ray before. There's a lot of different things you can do with this once you generate an animation like this. So that's where I'm going to end this video. Leave a comment below and let me know what you thought. Did you like this? Did you know you could do this in Animator? I just love having that SketchUp conversation with you guys. If you like this video, please remember to click that like button down below. If you're new around here, remember to click that subscribe button for new SketchUp content every week. If you like what I'm doing in this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Every little bit helps, even if it's only $1 a month. So make sure you check out that link in the notes down below. But in any case, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.